Just what's the feeling after scoring a goal like that, especially with what you've gone through this year?
Yeah, a good feeling. I don't know. I think you think about OT winners and you feel how important they are, but there's so much more to tonight than that goal. I mean, it's the penalty kill. It's the details of the game of what the guys did. It's Mikko Rantanen on that shift before I scored and what he did, battling off three guys and changing for me, and I was just the beneficiary of it. And collectively, just a great road win by the guys.
And then Mason coming out of the penalty box. I mean, again, has to sit in the penalty box during the intermission, basically.
I think I had anxiety for him. Just obviously one of my best buddies, and doesn't mean to do it. Unfortunate, and our killers did an incredible job for him, and I'm sure he's going to buy all those guys a beer tonight.
What makes this penalty kill so good?
Aggressiveness, trusting each other. Essa Lindell, Jake Oettinger. And obviously we're well coached, but Naz and how much time and effort he puts into the clips and getting the guys ready and confident in what we do.
Essa, does it feel like he always just is able to do more than you even thought he could do? I think he was out there for almost that entire...
I told Essa a little while ago that I haven't fully appreciated him over the years. I haven't seen it as a player as much as I see it, over the last months of watching on TV and being there and seeing the things he does. I think he probably saved one tonight. Him and Harley both saved a goal and things like that. They're just incredible players.
What was this building like with Landeskog coming back? The whole thing seemed very revved up.
I was talking to Jamie. I said that was maybe the second loudest I've heard in a couple of years. Loudest was probably McDavid's goal in Edmonton last year, but that was pretty close. And I mean, with the whole Gabe stuff, you knew it was going to happen. You want to play Gabe hard, but obviously the story, the things that he's gone through, I have so much respect for him. And I've missed 5 months or a season, missing 3 years. I watched an episode of his documentary. That's a little bit bigger than hockey to me. So lots of respect that he's out there. And play him hard and try to win games.
What was the read on that goal? It looked like, I think it was skate to stick, or skate to stick.
I wanted to one-time it. It was off a little inside, and my subconscious was still a Gold Glove. Good play by Mush.
What does it say about this group? You keep it to a one-goal game the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's we got experience too. I mean, we've been in a lot of these games, just finding different ways to win. Right? We had it's been our identity for I feel like a few years. Then we had a little lull there for about a month, and now we're starting to find it again.
You like to be the villain a lot of times. This is a perfect place to be. It seems like.
Yeah, such a fun building to play in, and with the way they play, like it's just nonstop excitement. It feels like so. Just great crowds here, great fan base, and nothing better than playing on the road with your boys and trying to get a win in the playoffs and everyone laying it on the line to make that extra play to get a win. So just a heck of a game, fun to be a part of.
I know Mason's a good friend of yours. When you see him take that penalty and then set up that play, what's that like for you?
Yeah, just so happy for him. I mean, stuff happens, and as goalie and PK, we're gonna have to come up big, and maybe I'll yell at him a little bit, but he made up for it, and just you need guys to make big plays like that. So he set that up great, and then Sig's obviously great finish.
Do you look in his eyes during the intermission? I mean, he's basically in the penalty box for 18 minutes there, 50. I mean, that's got to be just painful.
I don't know about that. He's he plays hard, and
he can deal with it.
Yeah, he can deal with it. He's a tough cookie and plays hard, and stuff happens. So it's up to us to bail each other out, and he's bailed me out plenty, so I owe him a few.
Any explanation for your numbers on the road? I mean, it's just incredible what you're doing.
I don't know. Thank you, though. Just try to keep that going. Just fun to play on the road, like I said, and when feels like it's 20 guys against the world, there's nothing better than that. I was thinking about that when I was walking into the rink today, like just how fun it's going to be to get to compete at this level and against this crowd and stuff. So just great crowds here in Denver and fun to play in.
It seems like it's right up your alley. I mean,
yeah.
Tyler said it was like the second loudest building he's heard.
Yeah, when Landy came out, I don't know if I ever heard a building that loud. So yeah, that was. I mean, obviously they got revved up for that, revved us up, and that's what you dream about. I mean, 10 years from now, I'm going to be, thinking about times like this. So just happy to be a part of it, and heck of a win.
We've asked you about Essa 100 times, but was he out there pretty much the whole kill? It seemed like in the overtime.
Yeah, he's best PKer in the league. So he saved the game with that block, and that's all, second effort, doing whatever it takes to win. And so dinner on me tomorrow night for us.
Jamie ties in the third. Just what's the emotion like when that happens?
Yeah, it's, huge relief. Felt like we were knocking on the door for a while, and, felt like, we were going to get our chance if we could just keep it close, and we did that as a group. And, power play stepped up huge, and happy to see Benner, huge goal. We need everyone along this run's going to have to step up. So, Benner and Segs and us tonight, and we'll see who it is next game.
Seguin comes through. It's just, you're writing stories. I know there's not a question there, but just what's the feeling like as you keep coming up with big win after big win?
It's just stepping up as a group, and getting the job done. Said it before and say it again. We've been through a lot this year. Dealt with a lot. Guys in and out of the lineup. Different guys stepping up, and PK stepped up huge to start that overtime there. Jakey made some good saves, and then just good play by Mush. Miko chipped it out, and Mush drove, made a good play to Segs, and obviously a good shot.
When Mason comes through at the play like that after taking a 2-minute or a 4-minute penalty, that's got to be pretty inspiring.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for sure. That was a long 4
Time in the
minutes.
box, yeah. You have to go in.
Just watching it, but like I said, great job by everyone that was on the ice. And then a big play by Mush. I probably didn't feel good sitting there and come out and make a difference like that on the winning goal. It was a great play.
What's the message going into the locker room, knowing you guys are going to come out in overtime and have almost 4 minutes on the penalty kill, and how did you guys kind of come together for that?
We felt we were going to get it done. We never want to go down 5-on-4, but our PK has been great all year. Naz has made a good game plan for us, and the guys step up in those moments and get the job done. And that's pretty much all the message is get the kill and let's get going again.
You don't talk about drought much, but was that drought getting to you at all? I think it was 19 games you hadn't scored a goal.
Yeah.
You scored tonight. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that actually.
It doesn't bother you? It doesn't ever get into your head at all?
No,
Tyler talks about whenever he has one, but he's Tyler.
It is what it is. I don't think I had a playoff drought going, so maybe 2 games.
What can you say about S. Lindell? He's out there almost the entire penalty kills. He's always in the right spot.
Yeah, he's a beast on the penalty kill. Can't say enough good things about him. He does so many little things well out there. He's always in the right spot. He's a smart hockey player, smart penalty killer, and logs a lot of minutes for us. Seems like he never comes off in the PK, and can't say enough good things about him.
Jake's road record has been amazing. Are you aware of it as far as, I think, 940, 938 in the last 2 years in the playoffs, and a 1.67? That's amazing.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable goalie. Obviously we're not in this spot without him. He always seems to step up in big moments, and we need that in the playoffs. You need good goaltending, and we have it.
Just so much resilience. You guys have shown it all year, but this one, Mason coming out of the penalty box, PK doing what they did, there was a lot of players contributing.
Yeah, gutsy win. You go in after the game and you want to acknowledge some of the key guys and key plays, and I could have gone around the room. Everybody jumped on tonight and did their part, and I thought we worked for a win. We did a lot of really good things. Our penalty killing's been one of the best in the league, the last 3 years. I think we felt confident going into the overtime that we could get the job done. And, if we did, I think there was a good feeling that we were going to win the game. And knowing Mason, and how he was feeling about that penalty, I just, you couldn't have written a better script for how it ended.
Coach, I think we talked a little bit this morning about, Gabe's return on the
Yeah.
other side of things and the emotions surrounding that. Did you see any effect on your team?
Yeah. I didn't. First off, I don't want to tip my hat to Gabe. Much respect. Can't imagine the journey he's been on. I've always been a fan from the other bench of him and his play. He's got a Kitchener Ranger connection there where I worked for a long time. So, much respect, and, the game needs him on the ice. So it was great to see him out there. You know what? I think it was business as usual for us. We knew the rink was gonna be electric. I mean, that's as loud as I've heard it, and I've been in this rink for some loud nights. When they introduced him, that was I think a pretty special moment for anybody in hockey. But it was business as usual when the puck dropped for us.
Coach, hey, how you doing? Congratulations. You had, when you were sitting in the locker room waiting for the overtime to start, you had you had to come out and you had 3:20 to kill. What's the message when you have that much time? That's it's not just a regular penalty; it's a double minor.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was we just reminded our players how good our penalty kill has been for a long time and how good our goaltender is, and there was just a reinforcement that it wasn't too big a hill to climb, that we could get the job done and find a way to get through it. And if we did, we would find a way to win the game, and we did that. Leo.
Pete, you guys have led for 1 minute and 2 seconds in regulation this entire series, but you have a 2-1 lead in the series.
Yeah.
How do you kind of put that into words of, how have you been able to persevere through some of those early deficits and, come out on top in overtime these last 2 games?
Yeah. Well, I think perseverance, I think we've just stuck with it. I'm not sure, when you throw those stats out, it feels like, we've been, the ice has been tilted against us, but I don't feel that's the way. I think we've been behind, but I've liked long stretches of our game. Blackwood, for them, has to get some credit. He's kept us from finishing on some of the chances we've created, and he's responsible for some of those leads for sure. But I like how we've just stuck with it and finally got rewarded.
Pete, there's obviously been chances in the game. There's two good teams, but 5-on-5, outside of a few of those chances, you guys have done a really good job keeping shots low, not getting the interior. What's been the key to that against a team like this?
Just attention to detail. I think we got a real good commitment from everybody to defend. I think when you put those names up on the locker room door of McKinnon and Makar and Nakushkin and everyone else they've got, there's a little fear in the belly that I think helps with that attention to detail. We know that if we don't have that they can light you up. And I also think we've had some guys come in and do a great job. I thought our Bischel and Petrovic pair has given us some really quality minutes. Penalty killing. Special teams have been good on both ends. Power plays, some key goals. Penalty killing, some key kills. But this time of year, that's what you need.
Goaltending's obviously been a huge part of this series so far. You spoke a little bit about Blackwood's game, but what can you say is a testament to Oettinger's game as well?
Yeah, Otter was great. It started last game. I thought he got better. He got better as the game went on. As the heat turned up in the game, he got better last game. He did the same again tonight. I thought that's not an easy game for him to play in. It's 1-0, and they didn't have a lot of shots until all of a sudden there's a flurry because we're killing a penalty, and that's a really tough game for a goaltender to play. I thought his mental toughness tonight was exceptional.
The 8 things we can talk about. How about Tyler Seguin coming back from that whole thing, and then second goal of the playoffs and an overtime game winner?
Yeah, and I don't know if you've looked at it, but what a skill play. I mean, from the bench, I thought it was on his stick. He actually kicked it off his skate and put it up. Yeah. So, that's a high high end skill play at full speed doing that, and what gets lost on that goal is the job Mikko Rantanen did to win a battle at the blue line, chip it by Makar to Marchment, and then get off and get Seguin on the ice. I mean, it was a big time play by Mikko for us at a big moment. So yeah, but you need that in the playoffs.
Pete, I know we've talked about Mikko quite a bit, and you just mentioned it, but I mean, you were double shifting him a little bit tonight on just overall his performance tonight.
Yeah. You know what? I think he's getting better and better. I really liked his last game. I thought he carried that into tonight. You want him to get rewarded. I thought he had a couple really good looks. He led our team in shots. And again, he made the play on that goal. And what I like about him is, just before that, he blocked a shot in our own end too. So, he's doing a lot of things that maybe aren't showing up on the scoreboard, but are helping us win games.